How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another One Piece episode review for One Piece weekends. That's right, we missed one Wednesday again, but that's okay because we have episode 1076 entitled "The World That Luffy Wants." Before I go any further, I would gonna ask you to please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of more videos such as this one. Trying to get these out in a nice, timely manner because there might be a small gap in videos. I'll know by sometime this next week. But let's talk about One Piece right now. Also, it's been confirmed that the Netflix live action series is going to get a season 2. I will definitely do a video on my feelings about that. I had a nice conversation with a good friend of mine who probably the only reason I actually watched all those episodes, to be completely honest with you. And just I'll tell you how I feel about that later. But let's talk about this episode. Excuse me. I have broken this down into 4 parts. Technically, I could have done just 3 parts, but broken down to 4 parts. Let's talk about the first part. First part, Momonosuke. He has made the flame clouds. I was kind of annoyed towards the end of this episode, so in my notes I kind of said that he just kind of farts them out, but no, he makes the flame clouds. He's all like, "I gotta save the flower capital," and it's a ring. He doesn't push it around it. He makes the ring and he goes and he puts it around. He has to move Onigashima so that Luffy doesn't obliterate it when he beats the hell out of Kaido. So um overall, one thing about this episode, beautifully done. I wish I could adjust how bright this is, because this is actually my favorite part was the black and white part of the clashing of their powers, but we'll get to that in a moment. What else is in this part 1? Fun fact about Onigashima. Most of you who probably already know this, but for those of you who don't, Momonosuke is a legend about the boy born from a peach. Has 3 I don't call them servants, but 3 helpers: a pheasant, a dog, and a monkey that helps him fight Onis and whatnot. Onigashima is actually the island where Onis and ogres emerge from. So it's where all this stuff. Good job, Oda. Good job. I mean, he is Japanese, so he doesn't have to, work that hard for the, integrating that legend. But good job, good job, good job. Um, oh, I did split this up into part 1, part 2. Okay, so part 2, we have Jinbei and Raizo's Zoe water puts out the fires. You got Sanji trying to make sure the girl, her name starts with an O, I don't remember her, to make sure she doesn't drown. Brooke saves Robin. Frankie saves Zoro. So Brooke and Robin, OTP maybe, probably not. But the waters have gone all the way through. Usopp saved Okiko and Kinemon. So the gang is all safe and they're all right for the moment. Everyone's watching the battle, the golden brilliance that is Luffy versus Kaido, with all the streams and the lights and explosions. Kid and what's the guy's name, Law, are looking up at the battle. Gotta remember, Law has been with Luffy, oh my god, since 2012, 2013. When did they go to Punk Hazard? My goodness, that man has been with. He might as well say he's a straw hat at this point. But yeah, they're watching the battle. Everyone's hoping everything turns out right, right? So part 3, which starts this episode and is peppered throughout the battle, is Kaido's history. If you read my description, a little bit spoilery, but spoilers in the description, the title description right there anyway. So, but let's talk about this. First of all, Kaido has wormed his way into my top 5. He might even beat out Crocodile, but he's in my top 5 like favorite characters, especially we're talking about villains, because he is amazing. Like, it reminds me of Killmonger. And yes, I am talking about MCU. It reminds me of Killmonger, because I understand his motivations and why he is the way he is. He just went a little bit too far, technically to the right, but too far left with what he was doing, right? At age 10, Kaido was a sea emperor. And by the way, 10-year-old Kaido was adorable. All right, he is cute with the little, and if you pay attention throughout this, he starts with the little, his horns are big, but he starts with the horns here, and they go here until we get big giant ass Kaido of now with those massive horns, right? I would love to know what race of people he is. That's the one thing that's cool about One Piece is that yeah, you have like the mink, and you have the fishmen and the mer ladies. They count as fishmen too, and you have your humans, right? And then you have the sea kings, but there are other humanoids like the oh goodness, the Skypiea people, but not just those. The people from the moon that Ineru and actually I think King is from the moon too. That those people, they're, I can't remember the name of them. The Birkin tribe. I know way too much about One Piece. But you have all these different type of people. And then you have folks like Mary, who did not make it out of the One Piece live action. You have Mary, who has sheep horns, but then you have the human hybrids that Caesar made that aren't part of that. And now you have Kaido with the horns. I enjoy that there are different kinds of humanoids. I could do with some lore, but I like that there's different kind of humanoids so that not everybody is confined to a thing. But I digress. At level 10, at 10 years old, he was a sea emperor, still with the kanba, that spike bat that Onis use, Onigashima, see? And 46 years ago, and he's from the Vodka Kingdom. Bro, the Vodka Kingdom had to constantly go to war to steal things to have money for heavenly tributes for those punk ass celestial dragons. And you have Kaido going, why are we all bowing down to them? Unfortunately, the king of the Vodka Kingdom shackled up Kaido. He was pretty damn large at the time. I think he was 15. And is giving him to the Navy. So now their kingdom can be part of the Reverie, which is that noble thing with all the kingdoms come in. Y'all should pay attention to the name Reverie because it is going to be very important if you have not paid attention. Manga readers know what I'm talking about. 44 years ago, he's about 15, right? So he already has a bounty of 70 million berry at 10. Probably carries over to he's 15. He was captured by the Navy, obviously. Broke free of the Navy by himself. Catches the eye of Whitebeard, joins the Rocks pirate, Zebek's Rocks. When we talk about Rocks, he is a very important figure in One Piece. Especially given that everybody who was major in his crew end up being emperors of the sea. Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, right? So, was it not Rocks, but Kaido joins the Rocks pirates because Rocks won him personally. Whitebeard went and got him. This one, Whitebeard still had blonde hair. And so there was, I believe Rocks was asking him, did he want to go to the God Valley? Don't know where that thread is going to go, but I made note of it. Back then, Big Mom was sexy. Who would have thunk it, right? But our boy Garp beat the Rocks Pirates. More on that later. That is actually a very important thing to pay attention to. It is important. I'm just putting it out there. Garp beat the Rocks Pirates, which is not a small feat. Interesting that he did it alone. Mm. And so, we're trying to. Everyone's surprised that the Rock's main crew got beaten, but Kaido comes back and this is Witch Doctor that kind of gives him a miniature prophecy, saying that humans are animals by nature, right? The weak naturally fall to the strong. Blah 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 blah. Kaido agrees with this. King is already with him. I think he has his other crew that got their asses beat with him. And what he wants to do is just take the fight to the Marines, take the fight to the government, fight these people that try to keep the peace and try to rule over the world. Doesn't want anything peaceful. He wants to go by violence. Another interesting thing is that he does tell King, Odin wanted to open up the borders to Joy Boy, and King is looking for Joy Boy. Also, did Yamato bring up Joy Boy? No, no, it was the original Odin. And he tells him, "You know who I think Joy Boy is?" And he's like, Who? Joy Boy is going to be the person that beats me." And King's like, "Well, that's not going to happen." He's like, "Yeah, you never know." Yeah, Luffy is Joy Boy because we had the five old men confirm that the gum gum fruit, the Nika fruit, the soul of the joy of the boy. Yeah. So he was spot on with that. It really does look like Kaido is actually the Broly of One Piece. Dude is unbelievably strong. Cannot think of. Technically, Kaido killed Luffy, right? So I cannot think of another character that is that insanely strong. And just, man, the last time Luffy had a fight this hard, in my opinion, and shared by some others, including a friend of mine, is his fight with Rob Lucci. Man, the fight with Don Flamingo was more annoying than hard, right? And I can't remember the Karakuri fight. I need to go back and rewatch that. It was a good fight though, really good fight. But since Rob Lucci, this is someone who's pushed Luffy's limits. I really enjoy this character. Let's go to part 4, which is indeed the fight. And the fight is so beautifully animated with, flame torch dragon. That's the flames that's over Kaido's dragon form. But I love the representation of like a standing half beast form Kaido looking up. And then we also have Luffy. While Luffy is pretty much a human, we do have him like they speak to each other. It's like their spirits, their souls are speaking. They even do a headbutt, which is part of that's in motion now. But they even have, a black and white thing where their heads clash, and it's even represented with the giant mouth biting the massive Byron fist. Beautifully shot, beautifully rendered, golden, sparkling, all of that amazing stuff, right? And we have Kaido talking throughout this entire time, telling him, you're going to be abandoned because you're weak. And Luffy's like, I ain't going to be abandoned. And still being goofy because he gets burned, but shakes his hand. It's the Gear 5, y'all. Nothing we can do about that. But he tells Luffy he wants to take over the world. His wish, take over the world and have a world ruled by violence, right? The strong survive. That's the only thing that matters. And you have to understand, this is how he grew up. He was in a kingdom where they had to continuously go to war just to pay for some a-holes tribute with, man, if Luffy's not the one to take out the celestial dragons, I don't know who is. I hope he does, because they have caused nothing but trouble. And he's questioning Luffy, wondering what type of world does he want, right? And the clash of back for Kaido's like, I'm the strongest, I'm not gonna lose, blah 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 blah. And we do get, I believe that Luffy, or at least Joy Boy, is a maker of wishes. Grants the deepest wishes, the most, I don't want to say pure wishes, but he grants wishes, at least pure wishes, because he's a being of freedom. And Luffy has been freeing countries and saving people, right? So we get this balloon. One of the balloons go up that says, defeat the scary dragon. And he gets that final push. And not just Luffy, but Tama is reminded of Luffy's promise to her, telling her, you need to think bigger, about eating, right? Because the people were happy to get food when they could. And Luffy's dream is to have a world where his friends can eat as much as they want. Now, on the outside, you can go, that's dumb. If you've never been around people, or if you've never been a person yourself that didn't know when your next meal was going to come in, obviously I don't have to worry about that, right? Haha. But if you have seen that, or even pay attention to things that go on in other parts of the world that are harder, people that have gone through hurricanes and droughts and stuff that happens in the US, right? That's rough. So to make a wish like that, that's kind of wishing, or should I say fighting for equality for all, which is a very noble thing. He doesn't want to be called a hero. Damn it, you're a hero. And just him saying that after, Momosuke moves Onigashima, his fist makes the flame torch burst, pop, break, hits Kaido in the face. Not even goofily done. It's done very serious, driving him into the ground and down into the abyss. When I say that, the preview for next week, Kaido is still going into the ground. Like, he is going down. I guess one of the things that also makes me like Kaido as a character is he's so respectful to the tenacity and strength of a strong opponent. Like, he's going like, "Hey, you're gonna lose, and people are gonna look down on you, but you're pretty dang strong, kid. But I'm gonna kick your ass." Very, very, very good fight. Very well done. Kind of makes me just want to go back and just watch from, was it 950, either 950 or 1050. It just makes me want to go back and just rewatch all the encounters that these two have had. Obviously, Momosuke is tired out, falls to the ground. Luffy faints while he's hovering up there around all of the wishes going past him with that smile, and then he faints. Don't worry, Yamato's gonna catch him. Don't worry. Fantastic episode. This gets a 5 out of 5 from me. This to me feels it's a new, I don't want to call it new piece, right? Because like I said with the Rob Lucci fight, we didn't get a backstory for Rob Lucci, right? But we did have the conviction is the word I'm looking for. The conviction of Rob Lucci, meaning his whole thing is, I want to fight that guy. So I'm all about justice through any means, but at my heart, I want to fight that guy. And Luffy's like, "Well, you took my friend. You're going to keep coming after her and then you're going to kill my friends. So I'm going to kick your ass." I love just that clash and that conviction. Like, you beat me before too. So hey, we're going to go head to head. You also think about, when I think about Crocodile, when I think about Mr. Zero Crocodile, he did have ambition. I really do wish we could have gotten more on his backstory. But this new piece, I like being endeared to this villain. I like being like, "Oh man, I see why you're crap." They did it with hairy legs, Doflamingo. They did it with Doflamingo, and I enjoyed that. That was my favorite part. Being older, that was my favorite part. Seeing, okay, so yeah is the reason why he's partially insane, and he was the Celestial Dragon strike again. Okay, this makes sense. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. The fight was good, don't get me wrong. This was slightly better. It endeared me to Kaido. Kaido is Killmonger Broly confirmed. So 5 out of 5. Greatly enjoyed this. You probably have seen this before you came here, right? And if you haven't seen it, you got to the manga point a long time ago. Go give this a watch, right? Give this a watch. Give the last oh no, there's other fights in between this. Watch since 950. You guys don't like intros anyway. I love intros and outros. But go back and watch this. Fantastic to me. Fantastic to me. 5 out of 5. Let me know what you think just of the whole battle period. Actually, I almost forgot. The next episode, 1077, the curtain falls. The winner straw hat Luffy, which probably at time of recording is probably out right now. So hopefully I can record something and get it out to you quickly before I figure out what's going to happen next week. Full disclosure, I might have to get a tooth pulled, so we gotta see what's going on here. But regardless of such, thank you for showing up. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more videos like this one. I appreciate all of you. Give us a watch if you haven't. Be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Drink you some water, all right? Make sure you're getting some proper sleep out there. Be safe out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. Just don't do it. Remember, there are people out there that care about you, my friend. There are people that rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. So make sure you reach out to somebody. Please do. You can reach out to me because my social medias are right there at the bottom. Give me a follow. Send me a message. We can talk about anything. talk about music, anime, manga, movies, television shows that have nothing to do with comics or anime. I watch it all. I love me some good sitcoms, especially those early 2000s, late 90s. Great sitcoms. Who am I kidding? I like stuff from the 80s all the way up until 2010s. Can't even lie. Can't even lie. But until next time, y'all, I cannot wait to see you. Can't wait to talk about more One Piece. Gummy Gummy no. See you next time.